what's the name of that group that does that takes care? I don't know. They go to a desert or whatnot. Anyway, I am your host, Joe Hozempa, and you are listening to Stogie Geeks. This is episode 302 of Stogie Geeks. We have Brooke here in studio. We are going to talk about Sticks of the Week. They're back. We're also going to talk about some cigar brands that are popular in America, and I have numbers that you can explore some of the major brands, and we're going to comment on that. This was from a survey, and Sticks of the Week are back. We're excited right here on this edition of the Stogie Geek Show.
This is a Security Weekly production. Broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island, it's the show where cigars burn slow, ashes fall fast, and cocktails flow steady. It's the Stogie Geek Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. Joe and I are already silly.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Hozempa, a.k.a. Joe Hollywood, is here with me in studio.
I'm fired up.
Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo.
Confidence. Confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air, thinking you're better than anyone else. It's walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone in the first place.
Welcome to episode 302 of Stogie Geeks. I am your host, Joe Hozempa, enjoying a Bloody Mary. We're going to talk about some Sticks of the Week. We have in studio Brooke. You're from New York?
Yes, I am. Saratoga Springs.
Saratoga Springs. There's a racetrack up there.
Of course.
A dog track. It's actually called
horse track.
Yeah.
Horse racing.
Yeah. I love doing that too. I'd love to do a podcast on some horse racing. You know, you can learn a lot about life because there's always a faster horse, right? Regardless of handicapping. Anyway, I am your host, Joe Hozempa. Brooke is here. Interesting story how Brooke got to studio here. First of all, I want to welcome you.
Thank you, Joe, for having me.
Thank you. Brooke, every time I run into Brooke, she says, how was Stogie Geeks? And I say, well, did you see the episode? Well, kinda. We don't know. I saw a little bit of it, and she said, well, what's it like? And I said, well, why don't you come down and find out and put some sticks together, and let's talk about them. I think it'd be a great to have your perspective there. And, you know, I'm not being sexist or anything like that, but females in the cigar world is getting bigger. And I think that is so great, not only for the industry, I think it's great for the consumers. And I also think it's great for the cigar manufacturers to really cater to the palates of male or female, of all consumers. And, I want to have a discussion, especially when we get into the Stick of the Week component there, because interestingly enough, I'm gonna
Joe's gonna put it right out there.
I'm gonna warn you. Brooke smokes some serious stuff. Like she knows her shit when it comes to, she's not like, I like those infused cigars and walk around with like a man purse and stuff. Nah, she straight up smokes stuff that I'm like, oh, did you eat yet? She's like, nah, I didn't eat. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like that's pretty strong. Like, be careful and stuff like that. So welcome. I'm excited to have you.
Having me, Joe.
I'm excited to have you here. You have the choice. Would you like to talk? Would you like to get right into Sticks of the Week? Or do you want to take some time out to talk about some of the best-selling cigar brands that are out there and some of the trends? I can go either way.
How about we start with the Sticks of the Week?
Sticks of the Week. Okay, of course, I opened up the wrong screen. Cool. We'll go with yours. I thought for sure you were going to go. You want to get right into it. Absolutely. So, basically, we have a Stogie Geek rating system here. So for those of you who are just tuning into Stogie Geeks, if you go to stogiegeeks.com, make sure you go there. Make sure you click on the banner at the top of the page. You can register to win a JC Newman Humidor. So all you got to do is sign in, and away you go. I also think that you should go to JC Newman's website. When you click on that link, subscribe to the newsletter. You get a lot of updates as to what's going on with FDA. The JC Newman family is very active in that, obviously with them being in the belly of the beast, South Florida. It's definitely trying times and wondering times as to what the heck the FDA is going to do. We all know my opinion. If we have time, we're certainly going to get into that. We know that I have no problem expressing my opinion. So go to StogieGeeks.com, click on the JC Newman link. They just sent me today the new promo. So if you go now, that's cool. And if you go Wednesday of next week, so July 16, 17, that in that time frame, you can register again because there's another promo that they're giving out there as well. Also, from my duties here at Security Weekly, I have a Twitter. Now, on my business card for Security Weekly, I use the Security Weekly Twitter because I'm like, what the heck does Joe Zempa do that's really so fascinating? I mean, I sit here and I smoke cigars. Some of them are good. Most of them are not. And then I get, and then I do my Security Weekly duties. So I officially, from getting in that industry, I guess it's very, very popular. Do you have a Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter.
You don't have a Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter.
My circle of friends, they like Twitter.
I know. I never got into Twitter.
Well, anyway, I'm just getting into Twitter.
Okay.
So if you follow me at The Real, no, I'm only kidding. It's Joe Zempa, all one word. Right? I was going to do like The Real Joe Zempa, but then, it'll turn into some political things, and I'm good. I don't talk politics, sex, religion, or Yankees, Red Sox, baseball during season. So those are my rules, and I think if you stick to those rules, you'll have a good time at the Cigar Lounge. Oh yeah, don't let me forget about what brought you into the industry.
I'll get that.
Because I get sidetracked and drink Bloody Marys and away we go. So anyway, also Stogie Geeks listeners, if you go to StogieGeeks.com, and on the right hand panel is our rating system. I'm going to familiarize Brooke with the rating system to give a refresher. Then we're going to get into the sticks of the week. We have lawn mulch.
Okay.
That's not good.
Not good.
No,
awful.
You would break it up.
Okay.
Sprinkle it in the pot.
Oh, gross.
Get some things and whatnot. There's a couple on that list, right? By the way, listeners, if you ever want to recap any of the reviews from not only myself, but some of the previous hosts that have been on the show, StogieGeeks.com, click on the Stogies panel, search for the cigar, or you can search for the rating, or you can click on the button of the ratings, and it'll line it all up for you. So something you want to check out to make your searches easier, because I do get a lot of email at joeh@StogieGeeks.com saying, what was the rating for this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, lawn mulch, there you go.
Okay.
Then the angler.
All right.
So I'm assuming that the angler is like, if you're on a boat fishing, you would just throw it off the boat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So not completely horrible, but not something you want either.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming. Paul will tell me if that is wrong, ex post facto, and I will stand corrected, or that. But that's how I've always interpreted it. When I go on a boat, it depends on if I'm fishing or if I'm hanging. That actually determines which stick I'm going to get. Because if you're fishing, you're doing some work.
Okay.
And some sticks require work and maintenance, and others don't. Anyway, then there's a try one. Okay. Speaks for itself. A $5, meaning you'd buy 5, right?
Okay.
Then you have box split. Then we have one that we've been using for a while, even pre me coming here, but I use a lot of this. It's called box split with a friend, because I'm all for, hey man, this thing costs $200. I like it, but if you share a box with a friend, it gives you a chance. If it's a 20-count box, to get together 10 times with your friend.
True.
You know what I mean? So I'm all for that. Box worthy, you'd buy a box. Fight Chuck Norris for it. If you need help fighting Chuck Norris with any of your ratings, you let me know.
Okay.
I got you back.
All right.
For sure. And the Oasis.
All right.
On the show, I've given 1. And I've been here since January
Wow.
2nd, 2017.
Okay.
I've given
One Oasis.
One Oasis.
Oh, wow.
You know, the website does say two. I think it was a little bit of placebo effect on my second one.
Gotcha.
There are two there. And
Okay.
it was one of those things where I smoked it like when the roller was here. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, oh my God, the roller's here. We're talking, it's great. And then when I had it more, it was still like a fight Chuck Norris or a Boxworthy, but it wasn't quite Oasis. So Oasis is something that I usually take pretty seriously, but an Oasis is interpreted here on Stogie Geeks. It's a stick that's going to take you away. And there are a lot of sticks that really take me away, for sure. But I don't know. I think if it's a high rating, there's only one king, right?
True.
You teach, so you know that, right?
True.
They go, did you ever teach history?
Never.
Never. Math.
Can't stand history.
Gotcha.
Math only.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk about my first stick. My first stick here, I'm smoking it right now, right? Right now, it's the second one, so I'm too deep in this stick. It is by Oscar. It's the Superfly, and this came out at the trade show in 2019. So for those people who had flocked over to the desert for the trade show, that has since then switched its name and has got some people rivaled up about a consumer day. Did you hear anything about that? The consumer day? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You got shop owners going pretty crazy with that there too. That's a whole nother episode. I'm letting the dust settle on that topic.
Okay.
Maybe you can Skype in if you get excited enough
All
about
right.
that
I'll have
topic.
to research that.
For
Back to
that.
you.
Yeah, they're doing a consumer day. I have mixed feelings about that. And certainly some vendors or one particular vendor had made news just saying, yo, man, I'm out and I'm not going. And I have mixed feelings about that too. But then again, I have mixed feelings about the show in general. So we're going to table that discussion there. However, this was debuted at the 2019 former IPCPR show. This is the Superfly, okay? It's available so far in 3 different sizes. It's available in a Super Corona. That is a 5.5 by 45. Comes in boxes of 20. It also is available in a Super Toro. That's a 6 by 54. That's what I'm smoking, the Toro size. So it's a 6 by 54. Again, boxes of 20. And then it has a Gordo. Of course it does. All right, it has a Gordo 6.5 by 60 ring gauge, as in if you wanted to have a big stick with a big ring gauge. Some people like them. I like smaller, more frequent sticks, but we can get to that discussion when we review some of your sticks. And that's available in boxes of 20. It uses a Mexican San Andreas wrapper over a Honduras binder. It has fillers from Honduras, Nicaragua, and Dominican Republic. This is the first time that Dominican tobacco has been used in these Oscar blends. And it's being produced over at the factory in Danlí, Honduras. And again, it's offered in 3 different sizes, which I discussed. It came out for the show. I do like this stick. Okay? I do like this stick. It's rated as one of the strongest that Oscar had come up with. It's tough to be strong, my opinion. When you start to add Honduran tobacco,
Okay.
right? If you go straight Nicaraguan, wrapper binder filler in there, the Honduran has, to me, it's a subtle note that really mellows out the stick in a good way. If I ever made a stick for myself, it would have Nicaraguan, Honduran makeup there at least, right? Probably a little bit of Peruvian as well, but we're not getting into what would Joe build. Right, but the Nicaraguan Honduran combination, super cool, right? Another cigar that came back from that factory as well that sticks out to me is the Island Jim.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, I had the opportunity to meet Island Jim in my radio career for Cigar Club Radio. He came in. It was a super cool interview. Had the opportunity. We had dinner at one of the local shops with Island Jim. Super cool guy. Super cool vibe. Yet to go to his shop. He has his own shop as well. Yet to get myself out there and travel. It's been a crazy 3 years for sure. But in regards to the rating on this, I would certainly, again, I had 2. They're brand new. With them being brand new, I always err on the side of caution because I believe that tobacco is a process. And I believe that when it's aged and it has to age, it'll get better. It's awesome now, and I like it now. But a lot of the reason why I like it is because Nicaragua and Honduran come to speak to me there. So I would definitely give it a box split off the riff. And for those of you Stogie Geeks listeners who are catching up to this, they're like, really? Like for a new cigar, that's pretty big not coming from me, but coming from my methodology of rating cigars. I would totally get a box, half a box of these, or box split with a friend. They should be readily available if your local tobacconist carries Oscar. So you can ask for that by name. If they have like the Leaf by Oscar or Island Jim, then you can check them out for your local tobacconist. If not, we can give you a list of shops that ship. You can email me at joeh@stogiegeeks.com and we can get you some. So that is the Superfly by Oscar. And let me tell you something. I love the name. Like, and the logo on the thing, it's very 60s retro. It's exactly like you would say it. And I just like saying it. I think it's a cool name. Say it. Say Superfly. Like Superfly.
Superfly.
I'm smoking Superfly. You know
Superfly.
what I mean? So yeah, so there you go. Give us your review. I'm excited. This is your first review now.
My first review. All right, I'm going to start with the Camacho Triple Maduro. I just like it because for me, I personally enjoy strong smoking cigars. And I just think the flavor appeals to my palate. It's not something that requires a lot of me relighting it or maintenance on it. It lasts a long time for me, which is something I enjoy because often I'm working while I'm smoking. So I can stretch that stick out.
Okay.
In terms of the tobacco, I have no idea what kind of tobaccos.
You have no idea what time.
I have no idea what kind of tobaccos in the Camacho Triple Maduro.
You don't?
I don't. I'm gonna guess Dominican.
I would not guess Dominican.
Okay.
But I would.
Joe, you're schooling me. You're teaching me here.
Schooling?
So.
No.
Okay.
I'm carrying you now.
All right.
Now I'm carrying
Okay.
you.
Now you're carrying me.
Now I'm completely carrying you.
All right.
You
Okay.
Yeah. You got to do the homework. You got to do the homework. And this is actually a great lesson because for you, and this is not like me pointing at you. Stogie Geeks listener, if you don't know what the wrapper, binder, and filler. Now, I'm not saying you have to be fanatical and write everything down.
Okay.
I'm not saying you have to keep a journal.
Oh,
I'm not saying you have to do that. What I'm saying is that you have no ways to explore.
Okay.
All right. And I believe that when you're having a cigar,
all right,
anywhere, any place, anytime, you go through an exploratory process. Either if you're alone, right? You're alone with your thoughts, or you're doing your work, or you're alone with your a partner, or friends of the shop, or significant others, or whichever. You go through an exploratory process of having tobacco together, and once you get a realize of that region, you can now say, "Hey, I like this from this region."
Okay.
And from there, I might want to try a cigar I never heard of, be based upon region. So I noticed from my experience, from when I owned a cigar shop or when I worked at a cigar shop, people come in and they always ask for product X, which is very relatable to our next discussion. They want this product. And when they have, then I say, we don't have it, right? And sometimes they say, okay, fine, I'm going to Google another shop and then walk out. It's like, no, wait a minute. Let's really, let's find out, what do you like about that cigar? I like this, I like that, I don't like that. And then you can kind of put them into another avenue. And and it happens to me all the time. Like, for example, next door, the Havana Cigar Club, I am probably for 3 weeks now, I am pretty consistently smoking, and it would be a high rating, the Arturo Fluente Cuban size, right?
Okay.
And it's a Maduro, and I would never pick that. Like, I would go to, if I'm at Arturo Fluente, I usually go for the Don Carlos edition. I go for some of that there. Some of the, I love the Sun Grown series. And again, the worker said, hey, why don't you just try it? You drink a lot of Bloody Marys. You come here on Bloody Mary Mondays, and which are a thing. All right. And we go down there and and he's like, I think it would pair well. And you know something? He's right. And I would have never tried that. And I'm going in for a cigar, so you're going to purchase it anyway. And then again, you begin this exploratory process, which is why it's called Stogie Geeks. Right? Anyway, what would you rate it?
I personally would do the split box.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yep. I pulled them up to get used to the search function here on Stogie Geeks. So if you want to follow along, you go to stogiegeeks.com. You type in Camacho Triple Maduro in the search, or just Triple or Camacho, and it'll pull it up. And it looks like on 2013, in the month of November, Paul Azadorian had reviewed this stick, and he actually gave it a $5. So you would which means that he would buy 5.
Okay.
I'm sure if he rekindled it again, it's 2013 versus 2019.
Gee.
I'm sure it would be in that range. So there you go.
Close.
It's a good assessment. It's not match Paul Azadorian, by the way.
Oh, wait.
I mean? We have, I'm because it just happened to be him. It just happened to be him. It's not. It's just giving you and the listeners some kind of gauge and some background over there. So there you have it. I'm gonna take a sip and then we'll go into the match smoke.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nicaraguan tobacco and Bloody Marys is the way to go. Do you do Bloody Marys or no?
I do. I like the tomato juice, so I might come back for that Bloody Mary Monday. No, you're telling me about it.
That's a good time. That's a darn good time for sure. My next stick is the Diamond Crown Maximus Robusto. Now, Diamond Crown Maximus Robusto, it's put out by the J.C. Newman factory. Love this stick, actually. With our partnership with J.C. Newman, I've actually had the opportunity to, it's amazing how you forget about some blends, right? You smoke them, and then new ones come out, and as a consumer, you end up like, oh, wow, I haven't had one of those in a while, and then you rekindle yourself. I've had the opportunity to kind of go through some of their repertoire there, absolutely. This line was created by the J.C. Newman. It's fuller bodied, for sure. It in regards to where this is, the filler is in the Dominican Republic, right? So you got the fillers from the Dominican Republic, really super smooth stick. When I smoke this here, I'm looking at like classic. Like, it's a classic, never gets old. Reminds me of some of the Diamond Crowns as well. The classic, never gets old, super smooth stick, tasty, and you can tell that it's been crafted with white kit gloves over generations. And it's one of those sticks that if you haven't had the opportunity to pick up a Diamond Crown Maximus, it makes a great gift too. So because they are a little bit on the pricier side, compared to your $10, $12 sticks. But that's because I think that retailers are scared to ask patrons for money. But my opinion, another show. Boy, I create a lot of shows when I just do a show. And this here, it's a classic. It's a 5x50 ring gauge. I would definitely give it a box worthy, for sure. It has nothing to do with, like I said, with J.C. Newman being a sponsor. It's just classic cigar. If you want to make a great gift, even if the inexperienced palate doesn't, like some Connecticut's and whatnot, this would make a great gift for sure. It's the Diamond Crown Maximus Robusto number 5. What else did you smoke?
All right. What else did I smoke? New to my palette of cigars is the Asylum 13.
Yeah.
Never really even saw those till recently.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah. They where did you get it at a local shop?
I did.
Tell me where.
I got it at Mr. Cigar,
Okay, Mr. Cigar. So that's Cranston.
North Providence.
No, I know there's one in Cranston. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. So okay. So you got it in North Providence. You're hanging out over there, and then you're turning to the Asylum 13. Why size?
Yeah.
The ring gauge size? 'Cause I know-
we're on the ring. Okay, let's talk about that. We're
Yeah.
on it. I usually am a 6x60 ring
Yep.
gauge, and I do like the Maduros. I would say that for me, that's not as heavy as the Camacho.
For sure. Yep.
I enjoy that more when I'm looking for just chores around the house or errands I have to run. I don't feel like it's kind of gotten my eyes as much as
Sure.
the Camacho.
Yep.
But I do enjoy it. So I would keep that on my list. I'm gonna say, what's the one before the Buy 5?
Try one.
No, I'll go
Buy
Buy 5.
3. You want to make your own? You want-
You know what? I'll go with the Buy 5 because I would buy 5 of them.
Yeah,
For
but-
around the house.
Yeah. See, I look at it like, would you buy 5 throughout the course of a year?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
More than 5.
Yeah. So
yeah.
so you'd give it a 5.
I'll give it a 5.
If do you have trouble keeping it lit? I don't. See, I'm not. I'm. So,
I don't have trouble keeping that one lit.
Yep. Yep.
Other ones, but not that one.
Yeah. It's a thinner wrapper than the air, but you also got to remember, like from a construction perspective, right? Most of your flavor is in the wrapper, just from the cigars, right? So there's a little bit of an educational component here, and so the bigger the ring gauge, you're more filled with binder and filler.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so
being educated.
So which is why I tend to shy away from some of the bigger ring gauges,
Okay.
because I think that in some cases they could be exclusive. They could be excluding themselves out of a really tasty cigar. But the Asylum's super popular. I had interviewed Tom Lazuka from Asylum, created that blend with Christian Aroa
Okay.
of CLE. So giving you there, interviewed them on my radio podcast at the time. No, my radio show. I'm on a podcast. Got it. Oh yeah, Bloody Mary's doing good. Right. And it's funny because a couple episodes back, probably like 20 episodes or so, Christian had actually took the time out to talk about the Asylum project. And Christian's words, not mine. What's amazing is that Christian Aroa CLE, as you know, they created a lot of blends, does a lot of blends, gets a lot of different sticks variety. Kind of reminds me of from a business perspective, kind of like I know my phone's gonna ring by Raul after this, right? Like kind of like a Rocky Patel business wise, produces a bunch of sticks from across the year, comes through. Some of them stand out, some of them go there, but he's not afraid to experiment with blends. You know what I mean? I think it's great if you have the resources, and from a business perspective, I think it's great. But they created Asylum, the concept of Asylum. And, they have a smaller ring gauge, a straight jacket, and all of that stuff. They have a series.
Yes, I've seen the different sizes. Yep.
They created that whole concept line in less than 25 minutes.
Wow, that's
the concept of that.
amazing.
And Tom had approached Christian. He was telling us a story. He had approached Christian and said, hey, I want to start the same, blah, blah, blah. Christian was like, I don't know if it's going to work, et cetera, et cetera. And it just took off like wildfire. So experiencing it took off like wildfire off the top of my head 2015 16 there too. And again, it's one of those brands that here, at least here in the Northeast, have kind of just fell off a little bit, and I think a lot of that is because of representation and not having a rep. But that's just, there you go. So you would give it a 5.
I would, yes.
Okay, awesome, cool. I had the what did I have? Oh yeah, I had the Crux Limitada Red Line, and it's a box press. It's 6x50. I don't know. Crux did a whole rebranding at the former IPCPR trade show there, and they did a whole rebranding. But before that, they came out with they had this red line. They did a re-release here. You have a Nicaraguan wrapper with Connecticut broadleaf binder. You have fillers from the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. This series here is produced once per year. It was limited to 1,000 boxes of 10 for 10 box counts. I'm trying to think how I got this. I think they shipped it here. Yeah, they must have. Because I have not seen Crux. I see Crux here in the Northeast prominent in a shop in Massachusetts, some of the Rhode Island. Yeah, I really is not there. And again, it's lack of representation. You know what I mean? So, have you ever smoked a Crux cigar?
I have not smoked Crux.
Yeah, so you're
I'm gonna have to put that on my list to try.
I think you should. I think it's one of those brands. They super cool the way they did the original packaging. They were available in boxes, single counts, or packages of 5. Which I think is great, right? If you're golfing or whichever, to get it out there. But they did a whole new rebranding and whatnot. We interviewed here on Stogie Geeks for you Stogie Geeks who want to familiarize yourself with the brand. You could type in Casey Hogan, and if it comes up a ball player in Google, that's true too. Anyway, right? But yeah, Casey Hogan of Crux. If you're looking to follow along with some of that, so yeah, I would give this. I would give it a 5. I mean, I don't know. Some of the nuances really didn't really stick out, but it's just classic Nicaraguan Dominican box pressed. A box press isn't really like a lot of my go-tos there. I try to get into the habit of having box press, but honestly, what drives me crazy, and I know I'll probably get email on this too. The only reason why I don't like box press, I know the flavor for all the Stogie Geeks out there saying, you miss out on flavor. You know how you talk about a little? I get it. I don't like the way it feels in my hand.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Because,
it's like the new world.
I'm a twirler. I mean, I'm sitting here on stage. I'm a twirler. I think that is I just don't like the way the box press is. And it's pretty boxy. You know what I mean? It's pretty boxy. But, hey, there you go. I'd give it a 5. Knock yourself out. All right, you have one more. All
right, my last one. La Roma de Cuba.
Yeah.
Mi Amor Reserve.
Yeah.
I like that one. I thought it smoked really smooth. The only thing is I didn't particularly think it hit my strength in terms of intensity that I like.
Sure.
It's tough. I don't know. What would you say?
It's not gospel. You can change it. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed them, but it lacked something for me personally. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me.
That's all right.
But I would probably say I would buy one.
So you give it a try one.
I'd try one. Yep. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had other La Romas, and I thought they were a little bit better than that one.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, yeah.
At least I tried it.
Did you find it dry? Like
I did find it dry.
On the palate?
Yes, I did.
Some people like that. Some people don't.
I don't like that.
You know what I mean? Some people say, well, if you have it with like sparkling water, it'll enhance the nuance. Like, dude, bro, like if you or Chica, sorry, right? Nah. You could smoke a cigar
I did
anywhere,
feel
anything.
Dry,
like you can't. It's kind of like if you, it's like a blue moon, right? The blue moon, the whole thing, you gotta have the orange.
Yeah.
And you gotta do the thing. Like, dude, if you're gonna put freaking fruit in your beer, it sucks.
Might as well have a sangria.
It's well, sure, but it sucks.
True.
Like, it's
That's
terrible.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can't smoke this alone, you know what I mean?
And enjoy it. Right.
And why, but it's the dryness on the palate I think a lot of people can't get through.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense to me.
Also, on the flip side, if you're talking about palates, if you get some tobacco that's from like a rocky soil, right, or some Colorado wrappers, stuff like that,
Okay.
comes to my mind some of the Christophs, where you got to keep relighting some of them. The wrappers run a little moist.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that they're not tasty, but some people don't like that. Same thing with the Casa Magna when they came out. Like, you know what I mean? So again, it's all opinion here, and you said you would give it a try one. I believe that the ratings were probably a scotch higher on that. However, Loma de Cuba, off the top of my head, I think you got to try the Jefe.
Yes, that's the one I've had, the El Jefe.
Oh, so
I thought that was a little bit better than the Reserve.
Yep. Yeah. And so there you go. So again, the line, and then there you go.
Different smokes.
Super cool. I have had the HVC Edition Special 2018. I've been all over some of these sticks here. It uses a Nicaraguan Criollo. Let me start that over. The HVC Edition Especial uses a Nicaraguan Corojo wrapper 99 from Jalapa. And it's over a 4-year Nicaraguan binder and fillers, so it's obviously straight Nicaraguan. It's available in 3 different sizes. You have a Corona, it is 5x46. You have a Toro, it is 6x52. I had the Corona in the Toro. You have a Corona Gordo, which is a 6x56, almost quite your 60 ring gauge, but not quite there. They're available in 50 count boxes. I'm sorry, the Corona comes in a 50 count box, and the other 2 sizes, the Toro and the Toro Gordo, are available in 20 count boxes. This came out at the 2018 former IPCPR show there, and I'm really starting to get into this brand. I smoked some of their stuff that was debuted at this year's trade show and whatnot, which I'm not ready to review. But I'll tell you, HVC locally here in the Northeast is starting to make a splash in some of the shops. Have you had any of those over at Brian's place?
I've tried one.
Which one did you try?
I can't even tell you the name of it.
Okay.
Just tell you what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, what's it look like? A cigar?
A lighter wrapper for me.
Yep.
It had a red wrapper on it too.
Yeah, so you probably had the 15. If you went with recommendations from that shop, they say the 15 was the best. I'm almost gonna gamble that it was the 15. I've had the 15 as well. I'm talking specifically here about the 18. I like it. I would definitely give it a 5. You should get out there and try some if they are available to you. Some of their exclusive stuff is pretty good as well, so you definitely want to check that out. If you have any sticks that you want to share with me, you can just go to joeh@stogiegeeks.com. I do get emails saying, have you tried this? I do get emails saying, I strongly disagree with how you rated it. I love them all. It's fine there. You can also follow me on Twitter at Joe Hozempa, so JoeHozempa, all one word. And I do post some security stuff on there, so you might get a little knowledge on that. But you also get some knowledge of some stuff that we're updating here on Stogie Geeks. And don't forget to go to StogieGeeks.com to register for that JC Newman humidor. And we have a new promo that's being given out as well. That should be up midweek next week. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into cigars right quick. And how you kind of got into
how
the
my
industry.
palate formed.
And there, talk a little bit about your journey.
Okay.
I want to invite you to come back. And when you do Sticks of the Week,
okay, I'm gonna do my homework hard this time.
I think
I really am.
No, I think it'll benefit you.
I'm gonna come back,
especially if you want to.
Trying to be an expert here with Joe,
because I know you like to take trips.
Yep.
To various cigar shops when you do traveling and whatnot. And again, I think experimentation is a super cool thing.
I agree.
There's nothing cool than you go somewhere and you smoke it and it's wicked good, and then you go back home and you're like, oh man, I really want to have a hankering for that stick, and it forces you to go back to where you were. I think it's great.
That's true.
It's a great methodology. So talk to us to how you got introduced to cigars.
So I've been smoking for a little bit over 3 years. It started at my partner at the time. I was doing cash and carry, coming in, buying them from Joe.
Yep.
And one time he just asked me, hey, why don't you try this? And ironically, it was a Christoph. So Joe always likes to bust my chops.
I recommended that?
No, that's what I was cash and carrying at the time.
I got you. I was going to say.
So that was my...
Jared's going to hop on my Twitter. Here we go.
That was my first smoke, and I really do enjoy the Christophs.
You do?
I do. I've always kind of liked the Maduro cigars. I've tried some of the Connecticut's. I really enjoy smoking. I find it relaxing and social, and I don't know. It opened my world kind of to a new hobby.
Yeah.
So that's how I got in, and I kind of, like you said, I've been trying different places and different sticks because I feel like I've been typical on my typical smokes, my Camacho, my Christoph. So I've been trying to branch out a little and try some new sticks.
Have you tried anything that you don't like?
That I don't like.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you like? Kind of like I shouldn't say like you kind of like about.
What am I about? I don't like the Camacho Connecticut's.
Sure, it's too mild for you.
I don't like, honestly, any like the Java mints. I don't like them.
Right.
I don't like any fruit in my cigars. None at all. No fruit.
That is awesome.
Whatever
fruit.
Whatever that is, I don't like it.
Classic. That's the best. That is the best. All right. Yeah, as you know, when you listen to Stogie Geeks, all of my interviews are not scripted and
That's
candid.
true.
So we love it.
There you go.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Before we let you go today, I want to just kind of review. There was a survey out there produced by Cigar Aficionado, which, whether we're a podcast or not, Cigar Aficionado is still the staple, I guess, so to speak. At least that's what the vendors say when they look for a Stogie Geek sponsorship. And they're like, yeah, well, we gotta tell them first. And, you know what I mean? Then we'll call you, Joe, on your little Skype machine. It'll be awesome. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. You can tell them and wait 30 days for them to see what they wrote about. Anyway, they did a survey of the best-selling cigar brands in America and some of the trends. And do you want to take a guess as to what some of them are?
Some of the top?
Yeah, like the top, like this is labeled. I'll post this on the wiki page. I'm sorry, we're on the StogieGeeks.com/302, and it'll have the link to the survey. The best-selling cigar brands in America.
I mean, we all know Padron should be on there somewhere.
Yep. For good reason.
Yes,
I mean,
agree.
Padron is
yep.
like when you go to a classic car show. And you see the hot rod or the cruiser, whatever you're into, right? Because Padron just gets it done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they get it done. They get it done in the Connecticut wood that they've explored recently, 2, maybe 3 years off my record. I have a 10-month-old, so I lost a year in there. So it could be 3 or 4 years. People were saying, it came out 4 years ago, or whatever, right? When they get into the Connecticut, they just do it right. So
Anniversarios, great.
Yeah. The Patron 1964 is number 2.
Oh, there you go.
Just for the record.
1964, number 2.
And it equates when you're looking for like taking a pie, like if you were to do a pie chart there, it's 40.3%.
Wow.
Our Padron. So that's a big chunk.
That is a big chunk.
It's a big chunk because if you get the top 5. When you get to 5, it's only 22%, and then it drops down from there. We will review this list right before we wrap up. So if we skip around, I'm going to burn through the list, say goodbye, and then we're going. So stay tuned, right? Padron is one of them. I'm disappointed that JoJo's favorite is only 23.4%.
And that is...
That what?
Go ahead.
What do you think it is?
No, go ahead.
No, go. What do you think
you tell me.
No, if you were to think, what would JoJo's favorite be? What would you think?
This is a hard guess. I don't know.
Clearly, you don't watch. Everybody knows, right?
Okay.
Stogie Geeks listeners like this chick doesn't even watch the show.
I haven't seen any episodes. I'm not gonna
lie. It's Davidoff.
Oh, okay. That's the one I said I haven't had.
Yeah, Davidoff. Well,
that's the one I said I haven't had.
You got to get your stuff together, girl. Just want you. Davidoff is they are such an amazing company. Okay, my opinion, amazing. They do everything right, from marketing to exploration.
Wow.
A lot of people don't like them because of their price point. You know what I mean? I mean, you're rocking a $14 Robusto. You're rocking a $23 Toro. You know what I mean? But this is how I look at it, right? Now, I have the opportunity to smoke a lot of cigars and enjoy the industry. But do you ever have a day that's so busy that you only have that 2.5 hour window,
Yes.
as opposed to you go to a shop and you do a stick and you do a drink and you do another little stick and you're there for 4 hours and you hang out and friends come in. Sometimes 4 turns into 8 very easily, for sure. That's when you know that, it's just great because then the earth can continue to spin and you can just hang out. It's super cool when you do that. It's good to unwind, right? But, like, if you're that one stick day and you're going to spend because I do believe that the consumer makes a decision on price point for sure, right? If you're going to spend, treat yourself. Treat yourself.
I need to try this.
If you treat yourself,
this is the one I'm
as a matter of fact,
really
here's what we're going to do. We are going to book time off here.
Okay.
We are going to get together. I am going to buy you your first Davidoff.
That's so nice.
And I will tell you that you will be forever changed.
Okay.
But you have to promise me that you will not. That will be the first stick of the day that you smoke.
I promise. That will be my first stick of the day.
Because, and this has nothing to do with being a female. Even for a male, you like some heavier stuff.
Right.
On, heavy stuff there. Some of the full-flavored, bold stuff, full-bodied stuff. If you smoked one of those in there, you were there. But what I also will tell you, that if you smoke a Davidoff, it will forever change the way that it will develop your palate.
I've got to have one of these.
They're
now.
amazing. So we'll book some time and then you can do that. Anyway, Davidoff, 23.4%. I'm gonna let you guess 2 more and then we're gonna wrap this up.
All right. How about Rocky Patel? Are they
that's
on
a
there?
pretty damn good guess. All you got to do is look, every other page in the magazine is, you know what I mean? But anyway, right? Rocky Patel is top 5 with 22.1%.
Oh, that's close to your Davidoff. That's not that far off.
Yeah. Which, no competition there. Like, you know what I mean?
Why do you think the percentage is so close? If you think if you think the Davidoff, in your opinion, is better.
I think, honestly, like any industry, right? When we do Stogie Geeks interviews, we compare it sometimes to industries if the conversation goes there. I think, honestly, that a lot of consumers make a decision based upon price point.
Price point, okay.
You know what I mean? And
so
same thing, like if you take the auto industry, right? Most people, the most popular car is whatever, I don't know, but it's not something you would drive at Inskip.
Okay.
Which is your higher luxury cars. You know what I mean? So I honestly think that a Davidoff is a luxury cigar. I think it's way up there as well with the Padron, for sure. I think both of those companies do things right. I think Davidoff is a little bit more experimental, extremely more experimental with their marketing and some of the blends that they produce there. Then Padron goes with if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of business model there too. So yeah, for sure. So let's bang out this list.
What do we got
there too? Actually, before we bang out the list, do you have any question for me in regards to the industry? I told you that I don't want to know the question. I want to know, like, do you have any question for me? And if you don't, then you don't.
I don't right now. I'm sure I'll come up with some.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm going along.
All right. Email me at joe@storygeeks.com. If you have any question for me, I want to feel some love. You can either tweet me or I don't know what it's called if you tweet directly. Like a DM?
DM. I was going to say
DM. You can direct
DM you.
You can direct, or you can ping me. I think it's ping.
Oh, ping.
Ping me on the tweet thing, right? Tweet anyway, yeah, right, there you go. In order, we have Arturo Fluente, number 1, Padron, Ashton, Davidoff, Rocky Patel, Perdomo, Oliva, My Father, Romeo and Julieta, and Monte Cristo. There you have it. I didn't create the list. If you want to share your thoughts on that list or have any comments, visit joe@stogiegeeks.com. We will see you on the next episode. It's going to be super cool. We got some out-of-towners with some of their reviews, too. So Sticks of the Week is back. stay tuned, and we'll see you next episode.